Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Tuesday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page to watch on demand. Today is January 8th, 2019, and now the news at noon.
According to the Cortez Journal, a group of backcountry skiers caught in an avalanche last weekend, leaving one dead, was taking part in an avalanche safety course with the Silverton Avalanche School, according to the Colorado Avalanche Information Center. In all, 6 people were caught in an avalanche Saturday. One member, Peter Marshall, age 40 of Longmont, was buried under at least 8 feet of snow. The group was able to dig Marshall out, but attempts to revive him on scene were unsuccessful. Marshall's death marked the first avalanche fatality this winter in Colorado. The Silverton Avalanche School at 11 a.m. Monday posted a statement to its Facebook page saying the group was on a recreational Level 2 American Institute of Avalanche Research and Education avalanche course, which is geared for advanced backcountry recreationalists. The Silverton Avalanche School posted that this is the first avalanche fatality since the school began operations in 1962. Silverton Avalanche School Director Jim Donovan said Monday the school will work with the Colorado Avalanche Information Center to conduct a full investigation into the incident. Until that detailed report is complete, he declined further comment on the occurrences of that day.
From Patch.com, much of the federal government is now into the third week of being shut down. There's not a lot of optimism that it's going to end anytime soon, yet President Trump will be broadcasting a special message this evening which may be key to bringing the government back full-funded for all operations fairly soon. In addition to the hundreds of thousands around the country who have either been furloughed or are being forced to work without pay at this moment, there are millions more affected in any number of ways. Federal prosecutors are starting to ask for delays in cases. TSA employees are getting ready to figure out to not getting paychecks. Families who get food stamps are figuring out what to do if the shutdown lasts through the end of the month or longer because the checks will stop coming. Then there are the people not being able to buy a home because the IRS isn't verifying tax data and the Federal Housing Administration isn't processing. While people know that there are plenty of federal employees in Colorado, from U.S. Forest Service workers holding off on fire prevention projects despite Oregon having just emerged from one of the worst fire seasons, to agricultural department employees working with the state's many farmers, it's not clear how many Coloradans have been furloughed or are working without pay. The Colorado Department of Labor and Employment said federal employees on furlough can apply for temporary unemployment benefits. In all, as of June of 2018, the most recent numbers available from the Federal Office of Personnel Management, there were 53,000 federal workers in Colorado. Currently, 9 of the 15 cabinet-level departments, Agriculture, Commerce, Homeland Security, Housing and Urban Development, Interior, Justice, State, Transportation, and Treasury, are at least partially shut down. Those departments employ 37,200 Coloradans. So how many of these Coloradans are working without pay or just not working? There's no easy answer to that. The Senate Appropriations Committee released some national estimates concluding that about 420,000 federal employees will be working without pay, while 380,000 are being or have been furloughed. That's nationally. Representatives of the Trump administration and the leaders of the House and Senate met on Saturday to discuss the shutdown and reportedly made little progress. But again, tonight's special message from President Trump may lead to a path back to government as normal with tonight's speech.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a La Plata County woman has filed a lawsuit accusing a Montrose funeral home and a business that harvests and sells body parts of dismembering her mother and selling the body parts without her knowledge or consent. Chris Cowan, a Durango lawyer for Terry Thorsby, said Thorsby learned her mother, Mildred Carl, may have been dismembered and the body parts sold after receiving a letter from the FBI the day after Thanksgiving. The FBI is investigating Sunset Mesa Funeral Directors and a related business, Donor Services, both of which were operating in the same building in Montrose, on suspicion of harvesting body parts instead of cremating bodies and not informing or gaining consent from the families. Sunset Mesa and Donor Services is owned by Megan H. Hess, Megan M. Hess. Efforts to reach Hess for comment Monday were unsuccessful. The Colorado Department of Regulatory Agencies issued an order of summary suspension against Sunset Mesa on February 12, 2018, effectively closing the business. The FBI investigation was spurred by a Reuters news agency investigative series that raised questions about Sunset Mesa's and Donor Services business practices, including an allegation from a former employee that gold teeth were removed from one cadaver and used to pay for a family vacation to Disneyland.
As reported in the Journal, drivers planning to traverse Red Mountain or Wolf Creek passes on Tuesday in southwest Colorado should expect delays. The Colorado Department of Transportation said avalanche control work is required on Red Mountain Pass on U.S. Highway 550 and Wolf Creek Pass on U.S. Highway 160 after heavy snowfall the past few days increased avalanche dangers, as we heard about earlier. The news release reported CDOT and the Colorado Avalanche Information Center have determined avalanche control operations are required to keep mountain passes safe for the traveling public. Delays between 90 minutes and 2 hours are expected on Wolf Creek Pass starting at 6 a.m. today. CDOT said the delay may be longer should unusual circumstances arise. Avalanche mitigation will take place on the west side of Wolf Creek Pass. Eastbound traffic will be stopped near the Treasurer Falls trailhead. Those headed to Wolf Creek ski area from Pagosa Springs are encouraged to reach the Treasurer Falls pullout before 6 a.m. to reach the resort. Westbound traffic will be stopped near the summit of Wolf Creek Pass. Skiers and snowboarders headed to the ski area will be able to reach the resort throughout the day since the closure point is west of the resort. On Red Mountain Pass between Silverton and Ouray, avalanche control work is expected to begin on the south side of the pass at 8 a.m. and continue through much of the morning. Delays of up to 4 hours are expected. Northbound traffic will be stopped just outside of Silverton, and southbound traffic will be stopped near the summit of Red Mountain Pass. Chain laws were in effect Monday afternoon for Red Mountain and Wolf Creek passes. Commercial vehicles are required to have chains or alternative traction devices, including buses and vans that can hold 16 or more people. Passenger vehicles must have snow or mud snow tires, use chains or alternative traction devices, or have a four-wheel all-wheel terrain vehicle. Previous chain laws for Coalbank and Molas passes were lifted on Monday afternoon. Wolf Creek ski area reported 16 new inches from the storm, and Purgatory Resort reported 12 new inches of fresh snow.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, 3 people were critically injured Sunday morning after a semi-trailer and Subaru collided on U.S. Highway 491 north of Cortez, the Colorado State Patrol said. Heavy wet snow contributed to at least 3 crashes in Montezuma and Dolores counties on Sunday morning. A stretch of U.S. Highway 491 was closed for 2.5 hours after a head-on crash between a semi-trailer and a white Subaru at mile marker 28 between County Roads L and M. Colorado State Patrol Corporal Ivan Alvarado said the crash occurred at 7:38 a.m. Roads were icy. Alvarado said the driver of the semi-trailer was not injured, but all 3 occupants of the Subaru, 1 adult male and 2 adult females, were critically injured. 2 passengers were airlifted to St. Mary's Medical Center in Grand Junction, and 1 was transported by ambulance. 2 occupants were ejected from the car, Alvarado said. Clearing up an earlier report, he added that no child was involved. The Montezuma County Sheriff's Office provided traffic control for several accidents. During the highway closure from about 8 a.m. to 10:34 a.m., Sheriff Steve Nowlin said semi-trailer traffic was rerouted to Colorado Highway 145 and Colorado 184. By 9 a.m., dozens of semi-trailers were lined up on the side of the highway waiting for the scene to clear. Smaller vehicles were redirected to county roads. And now let's take a look at the weather.
On the national weather map, forecast from NOAA, heavy precipitation moves into the west coast on Tuesday, and the Pacific Northwest continues to be under snow and snow rain mix predictions. Heavy snow is likely across portions of the interior northeast Tuesday and into Wednesday, and rain down through the Appalachian Ridge. Regionally in the Four Corners, some light snow continued this morning over the northern mountains, but as ridging builds in, winds will slow down and all snow should be over today. That high pressure to the west will keep heading our way, and by this evening, winds will then become southerly and southwesterly for Wednesday and mostly the rest of the week, but very light. Expect variable cloudiness from time to time today, but there should be more clouds than sun. Of course, you could see the striping over our heads early on, resulting in a high haze coverage. Temperatures should be near normal for this time of year. Not much change for Wednesday except for an increase in high clouds across the entire forecast area. And again, temperatures fortunately should remain about the same as today. The local DCTV 5-day outlook shows us today sunny with a high near 35. Tonight partly cloudy with a low around 22. Wednesday mostly sunny with a high near 39. Wednesday night mostly cloudy with a low around 23. Thursday again mostly sunny with a high near 39. Thursday night mostly cloudy with a low around 22. Friday again mostly sunny with a high near 35, and Friday night partly cloudy with a colder low around 17. Heading into the weekend, Saturday mostly sunny with a high just near freezing at 33 degrees. Saturday night partly cloudy with a low to 18, and Sunday mostly sunny still right now with a high near 33. Sunday night partly cloudy with a low around 20. And so we hope everyone got through all this snow this past weekend, or this past week, while we were not broadcasting. I know there's more shoveling and plowing to do at my place. Don't forget to check out the Dove Creek Local Weather Photos on Facebook. It's a group that you can join for free. Some incredible snow shots, sunsets, and all types of outdoor photos from our area. Join the group and post your photo, and we'll share it here on the news. This one is from Karen Dixon from last night's sunset. Just gorgeous. Thank you, and post them on their Facebook, or you can email to dcbnnews@gmail.com. And now, back to the news.
From the Cortez Journal, a Durango woman was sentenced to 4 years in prison Friday for stealing more than $500,000 from her former employer. Robin Bernazzani pleaded guilty to embezzling more than $500,000 from Dental Associates of the Southwest, 801 Florida Road, over a 10-year period, a plea agreement that allowed for anything from probation to 8 years in prison. I think probation severely underappreciates the severeness of this offense, District Judge Todd Norville said, because imposing his sentence for 4 years in prison and 5 years before imposing his sentence of 4 years in prison and 5 years of parole. Durango defense attorney Richard J. asked Norville to impose probation, arguing that Bernazzani used the money for her family, confessed to the crime, and won't commit another crime like this again. The prosecution called 2 witnesses, the owners of Dental Associates of the Southwest. Chris Wenberg said the fallout from being robbed of more than $500,000 has been difficult for his business and his family. He said his trust in humanity has faltered as a result of being lied to for years. Bernazzani was arrested in July after she confessed to her former employers in a written statement admitting to stealing from them for almost a decade. Bernazzani wrote checks to herself or one of her business accounts by using a signature stamp or forging a dentist's signature. She would then enter the amount in QuickBooks as an expense to a dental lab or supply company. Bernazzani also used a dentist's credit card to pay for personal bills or online shopping, entering her charges as a bulk payment to a dental supply company, according to an arrest affidavit.
Reported in the Durango Herald, AP, activists say they have collected more than 8,000 ballot petition signatures for an initiative that would make Denver the first U.S. city to decriminalize psychedelic mushrooms. The Denver Post reports the group Decriminalize Denver turned in ballot petitions on Monday, giving the Denver Elections Division nearly a month to verify each signature. The initiative would make the use and possession of psilocybin mushrooms by adults 21 years and older the lowest law enforcement priority and prevent the city from using resources to impose penalties. The city requires 4,726 verified signatures from registered Denver voters to get the initiative on the ballot in May. The group's strategy echoes the moves in Denver to decriminalize marijuana before it was legalized statewide in 2012. Magic mushrooms are federally classified as an illegal drug.
From the Durango Herald, most Americans say it would be okay to use gene editing technology to create babies protected against a variety of diseases, but a new poll finds they draw the line at changing DNA so children are born smarter, faster, or taller. A month after startling claims of the births of the world's first gene-edited babies in China, the poll by the Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs Research finds people are torn between the medical promise of a technology powerful enough to alter human heredity and concerns over whether it will be used ethically. Jaron Keener, a 31-year-old exhibit designer at Pittsburgh Carnegie Museum of Natural History, said he's opposed to rich people being able to create designer babies. But like the majority of Americans, Keener would support gene editing in embryos to prevent incurable diseases. His mother has lupus, an inflammatory disease that may have both environmental and genetic triggers. Lupus has been a looming present my entire life. I've been around somebody with a chronic illness, and I've seen the toll that has taken not just on her life, but the life of my family, he said. Gene editing is like a biological cut and paste program, letting scientists snip out a section of DNA to delete, replace, or repair a gene. Altering adult cells would affect only the patient being treated. But editing genes in eggs, sperm, or embryos would alter the resulting child in ways that can be passed to future generations, a step with such profound implications that international science guidelines say it shouldn't be tested in human pregnancies until more lab-based research determines it's safe to try.
From the Journal, photos courtesy Angela Moyer and Jay Barton Photography. Event organizers of a dog sled race planned for this weekend the plans have changed the location of the competition. The first Silverton Flying Sled Dog Races were originally planned to be held on the north end of Silverton on County Road 2, which follows the Upper Animas River. Late Sunday, event organizers posted on the group's Facebook page the race will now be held at Mullis Lake Park, a few miles south of Silverton. Quote, snow conditions are excellent with 3 feet of snow base and fun trail systems groomed for the past couple of weeks, the group posted. Events planned around the race will still occur all weekend in Silverton. For the past 2 years, the Silverton Flying Sled Dog Races hasn't been able to catch a break, but event organizers are confident conditions will be just right this winter to hold the competition for the first time. The first year the event was planned, 2017, there was too much snow. A storm dumped on the San Juan Mountains the day before the race, creating risky avalanche conditions on Mullis Pass, where the race was to be held. In 2018, there wasn't enough snow. This year, event organizers are optimistic the race on the weekend of January 12th and 13th will be a go, whereas other famous dog sled races, such as the Iditarod in Alaska, feature long distances and the traditional husky dog breed. Events in Colorado, given terrain constraints, tend to focus more on fast, short distances, Brandt said. As a result, mushers in the region tend to run dogs like Eurohounds, which are bred for sprinting. In Colorado, we just don't have the terrain to offer 100-mile races, Brandt said, so we train for 4 to 6 mile distances. Most races feature the traditional 4 to 6 dog sled team, and there's a ski-joring aspect where a musher will be on skis and run 1 or 2 dogs. Event organizers also say the race in Silverton will feature classes to introduce people to the sport. For those interested in the ski-joring style of dog sledding, it doesn't take much to get started. Quote, if you have cross-country skis and a dog, all you need is about $65 to $100 in equipment for things like a harness, Brandt said. Whipple said people would be surprised about the range of dog breeds that can participate in ski-joring. She encouraged people to come out with their dogs to the tutorial to learn more. With other dog sled races in Pagosa Springs and Grand Mesa, an event in Silverton will mark the 3rd race in western Colorado in a string of competitions throughout January. It's a natural setting for sled dog races, she said. Silverton really opened up their doors to us, showed us an amazing little town, Deanne Gallegos, executive director of the Silverton Area Chamber of Commerce, said live music, a musher's banquet, and the Grand Imperial Hotel and other events will be featured throughout the weekend. It's become a town event, she said, and this year, I believe it will be the first year we successfully execute this event.
From the Durango Herald, an implant is offering a new form of relief for people struggling to sleep through the night because of obstructive sleep apnea. Those with the condition often snore loudly or gasp for air when their throat collapses, temporarily cutting off the airway, a problem that can occur hundreds of times a night and prevent adequate oxygen from getting to the brain and body. An upper airway stimulator called Inspire can now help sufferers breathe normally by sending an electrical signal to the nerve that controls the back of the tongue, said Dr. Rachel Kane, a partner with Southwest Colorado Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates at Mercy Regional Medical Center. It gives the tongue just enough muscle tone to keep it from falling back in the throat and obstructing the airway, said Kane, a surgeon. When an airway is cut off, someone with sleep apnea will wake up, sometimes fully or sometimes just enough to allow some stimulation to the neck muscles, she said. The constant disruption of sleep can leave people chronically fatigued and increase the risk of heart attack, stroke, dementia, memory loss, and premature death, she said. A generator is placed in the upper chest to send an electrical pulse to the nerve. A sensor is placed near the ribs so that it can signal to the generator that the patient is about to take a breath, so the generator can send an electrical pulse. The three components are connected by flexible wires that run underneath the skin. Once implanted, patients control the device with a remote control. Patients turn the device on before going to sleep, but it doesn't start working right away. The devices are pre-programmed with a delay that allows patients to go to sleep before they start working. The generator is also programmed to automatically turn off after a certain period in case the patient loses the remote, she said.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings. January 11th, the third annual San Juan Skijoring at the Ouray County Fairgrounds is happening. Tickets at the gate are $6 per day or $10 for a weekend pass. If you would like to compete, please contact them with questions or show up at the Friday night sign-up from 6 to 9 p.m. on January 11th at Chapter Solar Springs Resort. New this year is the Utepils Beer Festival on Saturday, January 12th at the event from 12 to 4 p.m. Entry into the beer garden is $20 and will include unlimited samples from 8+ breweries. Spectators at the event will have access to the 4-H Event Center to stay warm while watching the live streaming of the races if you'd like to stay inside. Indoors, there will also be food vendors and a full bar. On Friday, January 11th from 10:30 a.m. to 12 noon, the Good Food Collective is excited to be working on a new project that connects the local food banks, pantries, and the clients they serve with local farmers and the amazing veggies, fruits, and protein they produce. Currently, they are working to connect local recipients of Colorado Food Pantry Assistance Grant funding with regional growers who are registered under the Colorado Department of Agriculture's Colorado Proud Marketing Program. The food insecure population gain access to the fresh, healthy food they love, and our local growers will gain a new source of revenue, and everyone wins. They need farmers' help to ensure that the food banks and pantries are able to spend their grant funds on your farms. First, you need to sign up at Colorado Proud Marketing Program through their Market Maker online portal. It's a free program and easy to apply for. Signing up means that you can utilize food pantry funds to buy from you, as well enters you into the statewide Colorado Proud Marketing System. 2, get added to the Good Food Collective's list of regional Colorado Proud growers by sending an email to rachel@goodfoodcollective.org by the 10th of January. And 3, attend an optional informational meeting to learn more about the program, as well to discuss your thoughts on the best ways to connect our food banks with you, the farmers' products. If you can't make that one, they will have another one on the 13th of January from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Florida Grange. Don't hesitate to contact Rachel at 970-403-5347 or email rachel@goodfoodcollective.org for more information on how to participate. And this week is the Dolores County Food Pantry Care and Share Day on Friday, January 11th in the morning at the VFW. For those in need of food products in Dolores County, it's free to residents. Please bring your own bags. And all of the happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. The email is dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 970-677-4119.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is available online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page on demand.
Be sure to like us there on Facebook and join in on the news of our area. And of course, please share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.